Hello and welcome to Community Chats. I'm your host, Aley Hammer, and today we're interviewing James, the COO and co-founder from Dubber. James, welcome to the show. Can you start by telling our audience a little bit about Dubber and how the business was actually started?
We're a cloud-based recording and capture platform. Started in Australia, and we, back in 2011, which is a long time ago. We have gone global, so we now run a platform which is spread across the whole world. The idea was we'd deploy a platform that could be connected to the largest telcos. In Australia, like an example of that is Telstra, AT&T example. And the idea is we can capture everything across a network once it's connected. So any service, phone, user on that network can be instantly switched on, and we can begin capturing the content of that, the communication, the voice, the phone call, the video, anything like that, and then unlocks what the potential of what is the data within those calls for different types of businesses. We've gone heavily into AI and turning that into rich data now, and obviously making that really available for businesses globally. So one of the key aspects of Dubber with Amazon or AWS is really the scale and instant availability of the platform. So where traditional services were deployed for an enterprise, Dubber is deployed for a service provider. Now, whether that may be a service provider with millions of people on their network, once it's connected, we instantly can switch those people on, and we begin capturing that through our AWS platform.
What a cool product. And what actually makes Dubber different to its market competitors?
Yeah, I guess, as I just sort of answered in that previous question, is, we are connected to our way to market is we partner with the largest of networks in the world. So the example in Australia is Telstra. In the US is AT&T, and AT&T is a Goliath of a business. We're connected to multiple networks of theirs. In the UK, we've got O2, which is a mobile provider, a cell provider in the UK, and we're connected to their network, and they've got millions of people on their network. And that adds to that. On top of that, we work with the likes of Amazon Connect, Microsoft Teams, Cisco WebEx, and all these communication services that businesses use today. Now we've got over 200 of them connected to us, and that's all into one centralized platform. So which means that, as I said, with scale and instant availability is really important to us. But where businesses, the end customer who utilize all these services, can actually record and capture the content immediately into one location. So what that, the opportunity that opens up to these businesses, obviously voice, the AI that we're turning that into data, that's a big focus for us. And then how that applies to large enterprise, which is probably pretty obvious. Everyone thinks about this, and this sounds like a really large enterprise thing. Example of that is we're working with banks and financial services business throughout the world, where they're trying to record everything across their whole business, right down to a small business or even a plumber or a tradesman on his mobile phone who might need to, capture and play back or do some sort of note taking around his communications on his mobile phone.
Well, I personally love that there's no need for hardware and that you can be up and running with just a click of a button, and also the voice AI. That's so cool as well. So James, what are some of the most common problems that Dubber actually solves for customers, and how important is AI in helping your customers? Because you do keep talking about AI, so I'm really interested in that.
Yeah, obviously it's a broad question, and there's lots of different answers for that in regards to how we can utilize AI for all of our customers and all their users on our network. That the biggest thing about, I think, what we look at is that most of the time, many businesses, what they communicate on the phone or through, these sort of situations where we're on a UC or a video chat, they lose that, and it's not, that sort of information is not used for benefiting the business, whether that's productivity or compliance. So the power of our business actually really helps the business to get access to that data where they may never have been able to do that before. We've actually done an acquisition recently, and that's sort of adding to that, the productivity aspects of how people can benefit from that data. What we're seeing is by turning, not just actually transcribing content, but looking for key things that people are speaking about on the phone or through their meetings, and how they can use that in their job, or across the whole business. Now, whether that's presenting for a whole of business, presenting that in a business intelligence dashboard, right down to proactively notifications based on content that was said in a contact center or in a sales team to help drive marketing or sales improvements throughout the business. So we're really looking at ways we can actually utilize that data to impact many use cases. And if you look at the way we partner with service providers, because that's one of our big ways to market is, and the scale we've got as a business is because we partner with these largest of enterprises globally, in that, they're looking for ways to increase their stickiness and the way that they relate to their customers, and opening up new revenue streams through this AI and the data that's available for their customers.
Yeah, those are some amazing customer benefits. But what about some of the benefits that Dubber actually offers to partners and also resellers? Can you share what some of these are as well?
We do look at the service providers as partners and resellers of our service. As much as we do partner with the traditional types of channel relationships in the market and consulting firms throughout the world, because we do, if you look at O2 in the UK, they're a reseller of Dubber, but we partner them and we work with them for their customer base. But then they have relationships in their market, that are consulting firms and resellers of their product sets. What we see is that they've got a great network. They're looking to make sure that they have they're innovative in the market. They're delivering products that actually benefit their customers and make them relevant, makes them stickier, and opens up new revenue streams. Our platform is built to operate the way they do. So it's supplied as a service. They run their networks as a service, same as Amazon runs their products as a service. Like Amazon Connect is a service. It makes logical sense that if you're going to use a product like Dubber, it is a service. It mimics the way of the capacity within those networks. So that's what we've done, and it really goes hand in hand with those providers and makes it really easy to win, as I said before, small business right up to large enterprise, and make it instantly available for them.
James, you have such an awesome service and have achieved so much already. So what I want to know is, what does the future look like for Dubber?
Yeah, we're a public company in Australia, so we're on the stock market. So we have obviously a 5-year strategy for the business that we're working towards. We do want to expand our footprint and the access to more networks and partner with more providers. Make sure we keep pushing that, because that's key to our growth as a business, which really just exposes more content and more data to the platform or the global platform. We have just finished an acquisition, so we see the AI as that's a big part of our future. We've just bought a business out of Brisbane, a small startup that really doing, basically operating bigger than they were, and we've just had it's a great result for the company. They're called Notive, and they're all around productivity for you and I. So if you're on this meeting or at a phone call, their application just behind the scenes starts taking notes for you. You can actually drive through AI. It picks up the action points, things you should do after the call, and just says at the end of the call, hey, these are the action points you want to share with your team. So we're looking at that as a great addition to our product suite, and utilizing that technology through the rest of our platform and our products in the future. So we're just trying to expand the footprint and really get more products into the market.
Wow, that's a very cool product, and sounds like a huge time saver as well. And definitely for those, who are a little rusty, or like myself, who are baby brain from time to time, I definitely need some AI reminding me. So thank you so much, James. It's been so cool having you on the show, and really interesting talking about Dubber, and we really look forward to watching you guys over the next 5 years. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks heaps, Aley.